Hi, my name's Rachel and welcome to How to Connect with Goddess Tawaret. Tauret is the ancient Egyptian goddess of fertility. She is the goddess of mother and child, the goddess of maternity and childbirth, and the protectress of both pregnancy and labour. She is known as the Great One, and she manifests in her hippopotamus form with the body and the head of the hippopotamus, but also the paws of the lion and the tail of the crocodile. And these three animals are really representing her fierce and powerful nature as a protector of women as they transition through the various stages of life, but in particular that transition from maiden, from lover to mother. She was very much a domestic goddess, and this is really where her potency lies. So for the ancient Egyptians, there was no cult or temple for her, but instead she was in the homes of the women, in their rooms and their lives side by side. So often her depictions were placed on the headrests, the beds and the chairs within the rooms of the women. She was there with them in their everyday. She wasn't separate or away or above, side by side, just as she is with you now. So here are my 3 top tips for connecting with her. My first tip is to connect in, to bring in her sacred colours. The first of these colours is blue, which is representing the sky and the cosmos and rebirth, but also it is the colour of the Nile, the sacred waters themselves that bring life. She is connected with the inundation, the flooding of the Nile, the return of the water that brings fertility, that brings renewed hope. And she's also connected with the waters of the womb and of woman. Her other sacred colour is green, which is connected with creation and growth and life. And it also meant whole as well in ancient Egypt. So I invite you to bring these 2 colours into your space, and you can do this in several ways. So you could do it through altar cloths if you were to create a sacred space for her, perhaps in the candles that you want to use, in the clothes that you are wearing if you were going to go into ceremony or ritual. You may also want to bring in potent stones such as turquoise or jade, which are going to represent those colours but also support you in these watery creation life-giving elements that she so represents. You may also want to have a blue or green vessel, cup or bowl for my next tip. So my next tip is to connect in with the element of water and the physical water as well. So as I said before, these are very much her realms. And think of the hippopotamus there in the deep waters, the powerful swimmer. She is known as she of the pure waters, and it is referring to the Nile, but also to the waters of woman, so of our womb. She's also known as she as the remover of the waters. So here it's referring to when your waters break and the release of the water. So you may want to honor this water by having water present, in any ceremony or ritual. And this water can represent life force, or it could be a representation of your very womb waters, depending on how you want to approach that creationship, whether you want to be bringing perhaps a baby through in the physical, or perhaps you are wanting to birth and create something else as a woman, whether that be a project or a home or something domestic and family. She's also connected with the waters of the cosmos and the sky. So these watery realms in which she rides and floats and swims through, these stars of the sky. And she was in particular associated with the constellation of Draco. So you may want to find that constellation, and you may want to perhaps take your water and place it in line with that constellation for perhaps a fertility blessing. That would be a really beautiful thing to do. My third tip to connect with her is to connect in with her as a keeper of thresholds. So she lends her support to us in these transitional spaces, as I said before, of womanhood. So whether that be from maiden to woman, from woman through into her lover stage and then into motherhood, she's that keeper that stands on the threshold. When we let go completely of the past, when a woman gives birth, she becomes a mother, she lets go who she was before. This happens as we birth and create new things as women, as we go through each stage of life, not just physically, but as we shed the old stories and patterns and habits as well, and step forth into the new birth of ourselves. So call on her when we are going through these transitions physically, but also emotionally, spiritually, and mentally as well. And she's really a reminder of embodiment through these times, but also just in our everyday life. You think of the hippopotamus. Have you seen them in the mud as they're kind of rolling around and covering themselves mud all over their body? She reminds us to be living from the inside out. And this is something I teach in my dance workshops, about closing your eyes, and rather than thinking externally, how do I look? Rather than thinking about those judgments of, how am I moving this way? How does it feel? What does it feel like to be in your body? How are you dancing through life from the inside out? Because you're in your body. You are your body. Your body is yours. You're in this vessel. And often we are external, looking on. But what if we looked at life from the inside out, really experiencing all the things that we feel in all of these transitions, you know, so the pleasure, but also the pain, the very breath that we take every second. How does that feel within your body? So she very much has many lessons to teach about embodiment, and she's very symbolic of this as well. So those are my top 3 tips. Maybe another one would be go and dance with her, given I mentioned that. She would absolutely love that. Ooh, maybe dancing with, like, in mud, that would be even lovelier. So if you would love to experience more with Tauret, I do offer meditations with her, embodiments practices. We do dance and we do go on goddess journeys with her in many of my online training courses, which you can check out. You can also come and join me in my Facebook group. So I share a lot on there, again, meditations, guidance. It's there for a community of global sisterhood to be sharing about their connection with womanhood, the feminine, and the goddess mythology, and lots of wonderful womanly stuff. So pop over and have a look at them. I'll drop the links below here for you as well. And also, I really love your support with subscribing to this channel, to support all the work that we do here, that we offer you, that you are receiving. So thank you so much if you can do that. If you can share this, that's even more wonderful. Let me know how you get on, any thoughts and reflections or comments down below. Reach out, have a chat. I would love to chat. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this supports you, and many blessings for your journey with the wonderful Tauret. Blessed be.